Rambo thought his war was over, but the battlefield isn't done with him yet. When a ruthless cartel resurfaces, threatening innocent lives, he is forced out of hiding. Training a new warrior to carry his legacy, Rambo faces betrayal, captivity, and his most brutal fight yet. In a final showdown of blood and honor, will the legend fall, or will he rise again? Rambo had finally found peace, living in isolation deep in the mountains, far from the wars that had shaped him. His hands, once trained to kill, now built a quiet life. But peace never lasts for men like him. One night, news arrived of a ruthless cartel terrorizing innocent people. A familiar pain stirred inside him. He couldn't ignore it. He wasn't the man he once was, but someone had to fight. In his search for justice, he met a young soldier, strong, determined, but reckless. There was something familiar in his eyes, a fire that reminded Rambo of himself. He decided to train him, passing down the skills of survival, combat, and discipline. But war isn't just about weapons. It's about the mind. "You win here," Rambo said, tapping his head, "before you win out there." As they prepared for battle, betrayal struck. Someone they trusted turned against them, handing Rambo over to the cartel. Bound and beaten, he sat in a dark cell, blood dripping from his wounds. They thought they had broken him, but they underestimated who they were dealing with. He waited for the right moment, then struck like a ghost in the night. Using nothing but his wits and strength, he escaped, leaving behind nothing but destruction. Now it was time to bring the fight to them. Rambo and his protege infiltrated the cartel's jungle hideout. Silent as shadows, they moved through the dense trees, eliminating enemies one by one. But the final battle was brutal. Bullets tore through the air, explosions shook the ground, and blood stained the dirt. The enemy leader, a man tied to Rambo's past, stood before him, smirking. "You should have stayed dead," he said. But Rambo had one last fight left in him. With every ounce of strength, he fought, not just for himself, but for the legacy he was leaving behind. When the dust settled, Rambo stood victorious, though heavily wounded. His protege had proven himself, standing tall beside him. The war was over, but something had changed. Rambo had always fought alone, but now he saw the future in the young soldier's eyes. He handed him his combat knife, a symbol of everything he had lived and fought for. As the sun set, Rambo rode off into the distance, his silhouette fading against the horizon. The legend lived on, not just in him, but in the warrior he had trained. Was this truly the end, or would war call him back one last time?